Okay, this is part two of corporate formation, where we are forming corporations here in the state of Florida. I'm Professor Higgins, and I will continue this lecture. We were going over what is called a corporate notebook here in the state of Florida, and we had discussed several of the things that need to be in the corporate notebook, beginning with the bylaws. You have the bylaws as the first part of the corporate notebook. And then we have the waiver of notice. Then there are the minutes that occur of the first meeting, and then all of the meetings after that. The resolutions. We were in the middle of talking about resolutions, and important resolutions that are kept. The initial ones are going to be choosing of the bank, how many signatures there needs to be to write a check. The second one is adopting S Corp status if they want to be an S corporation, subchapter S corporation. If not, if they don't elect that here, they're going to automatically be a C corporation. And the ratification of the pre-incorporation transactions. So any transactions or contracts that are entered into by the promoter have to be ratified, and then that ratification is put into the corporate notebook here and under the resolutions of number 4. All right. The next thing that we're going to have is the tax forms. There's going to be a form SS4, and this form is how the corporation will get its social security number for like a normal natural person. We all have social security numbers. The IRS will give after we request with an SS form, we'll give the corporation an EIN, which is an employer identification number. And that's basically their social security number. You have to have this before you can open a bank account. And I have the phone number that you can use to get it. I have the internet address, basically irs.gov/businesses. And after applying for this number, after applying for the EIN, as we refer to it, you can get on the IRS's mailing list for the W-4 forms that you'll need for each employee and tax deposit coupons, which allows the corporation to pay taxes in advance. Okay. In addition to the tax forms, you're also going to have a Form 2553 if you want to become an S Corp. And remember, the S Corp is for corporations that have 100 or fewer shareholders. So, if they want to do this, all shareholders have to sign. So if you have 99 shareholders, you have to have 99 signatures. 100% of your shareholders have to agree to this. The Form 2553 is an IRS form, and it has to be signed within the first 75 days of incorporation. All right. The seventh thing that's going to go into your notebook is a DR1. This is the state sales tax regulation. If you're going to be selling or renting goods at retail, then you have to collect Florida tax. You'll fill out this one-page form, pay $5 to the Department of Revenue, or I think you can file online for free. But anyway, you'll obtain the form, and I've got the address where you obtain the form at. You will receive a tax number from Florida, and then you'll be required to collect taxes on all your purchases. All right. Then number 8. For the first year, every corporation, whether you're an S corporation or a C corporation, you must file a Florida corporate tax return. If you are an S, if you're going to be a subchapter S corporation, you state that on your tax return. That means that you are going to file a tax information. They're going to have information so that they know how much the corporation made and how much each of the shareholders received. If you are a C corporation, then you will fill out the tax return and you will pay it. It's not just for informative use. It determines how much taxes that the corporation will pay. Okay. The next thing that you're going to do is order a corporate supply kit. And a corporate supply kit, it's required to keep the permanent record of all the legal affairs. This would include all the corporate paperwork. Generally, it's called a corporate kit, and you can purchase a corporate kit that's pretty expensive, but really all you need is a 3-ring binder. And the corporate kit will contain a seal, which is like one of those big metal ones that you put the paper in and you press it and it leaves an impression. Or nowadays, you can even use a rubber stamp with your seal on it. The seal has to be on all of your, either the stamp or the squish seal has to be on all your important corporate documents, like deeds and things like that. The seal can be metal or it can just be rubber. It really doesn't make any difference at all. If you don't order the kit, you can simply order the seal from a corporate supply store. The seal should contain 3 things. And this would be a really good exam question. It should have the full name of the corporation. It should have the word seal, S-E-A-L, and the year of incorporation. Your seal has to have those 3 things on it. Okay. Then you're going to organize this corporate book. You're going to have a title page, which will say like corporate records of whatever your corporation name is. And then your second page will be a table of contents, and then you'll have everything laid out. And I'll read through them quickly, but you want to basically organize the book as follows. The copy of your articles of incorporation, the copy of the fictitious name registration, if any, you probably won't have one, waiver of notice of organizational meetings, minutes of the organizational meeting, remember that's that first meeting, the bylaws, the tax forms, the SS4, the 2553, and the DR1. A stock ledger, like who owns stock if you have any stock. And then they used to have the stock stubs. Okay, another thing that you might add in there is any licensing that you have to have. Like if you are if a law firm and you're going to incorporate, you might want to have all of the Florida bar licenses of everybody in your firm. Professional licenses, occupational licenses, whatever licenses you need, even if you're not a professional association, if you're a regular old corporation, there's probably going to be licenses that you want to have on hand in your corporate kit. Okay, issuing stock certificates. Technically, this is no longer required in Florida. So because it's not required in Florida, I don't really focus on it too much, but it is a good idea because it shows some formality and it gives you some more ammunition, remember, to prove that you are a corporation and you cannot have your corporate veil pierced. It gives each person a tangible evidence of ownership. If you issue shares, on the face of the certificate, it must show the following. And then I've listed the things here, like corporate name, that the corporation was organized under Florida law, the name of the shareholder, the number and class action series of the stocks. And I just have some other interesting stuff there. This, remember, is no longer required by Florida law, but it's not a bad idea. 12, hold the organizational meeting. Okay, usually after all of the above stuff is prepared and done, the paralegal will come in and draft. This is like a really heavy part for the paralegal. They are going to hold the organizational meeting. They're going to come up with the agenda, and I've got an agenda, typical agenda for you in here. You're going to have everybody sign the waiver of notice. Then you will note the people who are present. And And then you're going to have someone will present the articles of incorporation and they will be accepted. You'll elect directors, then they will adopt the bylaws, present and accept the corporate seal, elect officers, present and accept stock certificates, design or designate the bank, which bank you're going to use, make a resolution to pay expenses, adopt special resolution regarding the S status, and then adjourn. At the end of the meeting, the stock certificates are issued. Now that you have that done and you are an honest to goodness corporation, then you can go down and open a bank account. All right, in order to open the bank account, make sure that you have copies of the Articles of Incorporation and the Federal Tax ID number, that EIN, and you are ready to go. All right, now as you can imagine, there are just a plethora of duties for paralegals. And you could utilize more than one paralegal. You can have paralegals that specialize in each area of creating or forming corporations. So just in the formation of corporations, we are talking about a lot of work for paralegals. And we're just like scratching the surface. We're just getting formed. So I want you to take a look in your book at the role of paralegals and just see exactly how many and what kind of opportunities there are in corporate law when it comes to paralegals. And then we will, I will see you next week. If you have any questions, shoot me an email and then I'll be happy to answer it, or we can discuss it at our next Tuesday talk time. All right, you guys. Sorry that I went over a little bit, but thank you for your patience, and I will see you soon. Bye.